Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I am now going to critique Shelton High School's armed exhibition routine. When I was talking about, look at the elbows there. These are M1 Grands there, guys. No elbows like that. Both arms should be straight down. Relax those elbows. All right, so this is a separate video for the exhibition routine, which is nice, but they just got finished with their regulation sequence. They stopped here, and then the commander is going to give them the commands to fall out. All very formal, and so here I think even the commander, formally falls out. It's kind of strange. So now, the commander takes off his sword and takes the rifle, and the team is waiting. The guidon bearer even grabs a rifle. Then the commander goes back to his original spot. Same with the guidon bearer. Slightly adjusted, which is fine. All of that could have taken place already while the commander was walking over. That would have been perfect to have that take place. And then all he would have had to have done was gone up and come to attention to fall in, and then they could have gone on with this. You're speeding up with that mark time. Now, that's easy to do. That was good. Nice beginning. It's understated, but I appreciate it. So some crossovers for those just after the end steps. So I explained the end steps in one of the regulation drill videos, but you could see as people, some of the cadets executed that left flank there, then the left foot was brought up and then over, either in line or crossing over or quite close. So it wasn't a true flanking movement to keep that walking base, which then makes everybody adjust, and then you end up with some alignment that is off. You can see right here, these three, or actually the last two there, but there were some adjustments also made. So again, a separate commander. Why? Why is the commander separate? And so the team, if you've watched the unarmed sequence, this is the same thing here. And this takes a long time. So everything's relative. You have, right down here, you can see there's 8 minutes, 11 seconds. So in this 8-minute routine, you have to be effective all 8 minutes. This is not necessarily effective. Now, there is some effectiveness in marching up and then halting, stepping to the side in front of the rest of the line that you're in front of, and trying to be as accurate as possible. Sure, there is a certain level of effectiveness there, a certain level of demand. Not very high, but there's still a certain level. If there was some sort of rifle work, even some body movement, step to the side, facing movements, something that would build up as everybody's starting to fall into these lines and continue on until the last two are in line, that would be so much more full of demand and an eyeful really for your audience. Here, All we have to do is watch everybody just do what the previous two people did. And we just have to watch that repeat over and over and over until finally we get the two lines and we form the cordon. Now, finally, good integration there. Alignment is a little bit tricky, but had some good integration with the commander that really worked well. Commander, why are you there? So, and I'll talk while this is going. The commander has a rifle. You're marching through at port, marching through the cordon. I understand the commander, up and down the cordon and the seeming danger of the spinning rifles in front of and behind the commander. I get that. That's why Air Force Honor Guard does that. That's why the Navy does it. That's why the Army does it. I get it. I really do. It doesn't work here because, Commander, you are just a member of the team. You have a rifle. You look exactly like the rest of the team. You don't have your sword anymore, so now you're a member of the team. Why? Just because you are the commander of the team, why did you march up and down the cordon? If you had the sword, it would have been completely different. This looks like a member of the team. I know you're commander, but it just looks like a member of the team walked up and down. And I say walk, but that's what it looks like. There doesn't seem to be a real reason behind this other than, well, that's what the commander does. But the commander is never armed with a rifle in exhibition drill sequences that you can see all throughout Washington, D.C., all of the services. The commander always has something different, whether it's a sword, a saber, or a sidearm. I like this pass-through, almost pass-through. That was really good. And then reintegration of the commander, that works well. I appreciate it. Nicely done. That really works well. So why did you face the platoon? You're a member. You are a member. Well, not right there. You're a member. You are a member, commander of the platoon. So you're doing exactly what everybody else does. You're starting it off, but you're doing everything they do. Nobody else turns around. Why did you turn around? Well, because the commander has to face the platoon to give the command. It's exhibition drill. If that's the point you would like to make, commander has to face, etc. It's exhibition drill. If you get out of thinking the very blinder regimented way, then your exhibition drill can be that much more effective. I know who I'm talking to. I know the very rigid, very straight, very narrow thinking, and that's good in many cases. Many cases. In exhibition drill, we got to take the narrow and widen it just a bit. Maybe even do this so that you can go off in different directions, because you can do that in exhibition drill. This is very limiting and not as effective as it could be. Just like with the unarmed sequence, I appreciate how the team reforms here. I really do like it. Just with the unarmed performance, this takes forever, and it shouldn't. So, as the team was separating, let's go back to here. As the team was initially separating, instead of everybody marching, again, you're off the court. You barely do anything on the court. You're throughout the whole routine, and I critique this privately with the petty officer who sent it in to me. But this rank could have marched forward and made the reforming of the platoon so much quicker. This takes forever. Remember, you have 8 minutes, and you need to be as effective as possible in that 8 minutes. It takes forever, and still we're not seeing any kind of performance. All we're waiting for is for you to set up for the next portion of the sequence. Now, don't get me wrong, that single file line was great. This works well also. This is really nice. However, it could have taken like that to get back into formation. And instead of I don't get why you're off the court, so far away from the audience. I don't understand that. You could have been marching here where my cursor is, right up, more effective. Nice variation there. The 2 mark time steps that worked well. This is called the meat grinder. And I know Silent Drill Platoon's done meat grinder horizontally to the audience. It's just not as effective. And I've told them that. The meat grinder needs to go this way, vertically to the audience. You can see what's going on, and having the commander do this again, it just doesn't really work. It honestly doesn't. It's a little frustrating. I'd love to be able to have whoever's the designer right next to me and then go, okay, stop right here. All right, instead of this, because ideas have already been churning through my brain, and being just right here watching it on the screen, it just tends to be frustrating. Anyway, and I forgot the point that I was making. Oh, the meat grinder. Yeah, everybody can see what's going on, but it's not as effective as if it's back to front to back to front. It really works so much better vertically to the audience. Pretty decent on the spacing there. What are you doing, Commander? I don't understand this. Why is the team so far away from the audience, and why is the commander right next to the audience, and they're doing the same thing? He's not part of the long line, and yet he's part of the long line. But there's 20 yards of distance, maybe not 20. That doesn't make sense. The commander could have stayed with the team. Actually, the team needs to be right where the commander is, but then the commander could have been right at the end of the team. nice effort put in by everybody on what they're being asked to do. Rightfully so, everybody should receive lots of applause and yells. They did a fine job. They really did. But there's a. I'm sorry. I want to be as positive as possible, but there's so much lacking with this routine. And it's from a design standpoint, not necessarily a performance standpoint. The cadets performed really well, but the design of the routine is just it's at a very low level. And there's beginning, intermediate, and advanced for drill and ceremonies, and in each of those there's low, middle, and high, and kind of a beginning, intermediate, and advanced within the three sections. And this is a high level of beginning. As far as the design is concerned, yeah, high level of kind of a mid-level of beginning at the beginning level, and then, but for the execution, it's high, and that's good. So that since the and I'll put a link down below to the I forget exactly what I called it, but if there's a high level of execution and such a low level of demand, then it's time to start creating more demand so that you can start to balance out the two, and then hopefully both will rise simultaneously, and you'll have great demand and great excellence as well. Well, I hope my comments have been helpful. I appreciate it. I want to be as informative as possible in my critiques, and I hope I've done that. Thank you.